There it goes. And we're streaming. And we'll go back to this. And we'll go back to this. There we go. We are live on Facebook. And we are live on vim.tv. I am the sports nerd with my cohort in tow here, Mr. Bob Pizer.
Hi, everybody.
Bob, I did post a link on the Facebook page of the sports, not the sports nerds, but Football Friends for Life. So they might be joining in. So we don't know.
Oh, excellent.
But I did put your old handle in there and told him Kenny would be up here. So maybe we'll get some people to go in here. So good day for you. Not so good for me.
Yeah, exactly.
Although I will offer congratulations. I will be humble and I will offer you congratulations on the victory.
Yes, ugly as it may have been.
Yes, my rant on this is the fact that we have no depth as far as the Browns are concerned. We have no depth on the offensive line, no depth on the defensive line. We are hurt and down to like the 6th or 7th string safety in our defense. And with all due respect, the Browns defense lost that game today, as well as the Browns offensive line lost that game today, because we could not protect Baker. We could not get a pass rush in there, and we could not defend anything that was going on as far as stopping the offense, the Pittsburgh offense.
Right, which is Pittsburgh offense is an oxymoron.
Exactly, because it's anemic, and there's no reason why, unless you're down safeties. We left our number one safety in Cleveland because he's a dumbass, and the fact that we couldn't get a pass rush, as opposed to the last game where all we were doing was harassing. All we were doing was friggin' harassing your guys. So I mean, it's awful. Just awful.
Right.
Terrible.
And we are down to our third string quarterback, which is a undrafted rookie free agent.
Yep.
We are down to Deontay Johnson, which is a rookie wide receiver, and we are down to about our third and fourth wide receiver, or third and fifth wide receiver as our first two. Let
me just say this. Washington balled out today.
Yes, they did.
No. Your receiver. Your receiver, Washington.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. As opposed to the last Kenny, you gotta mute your Facebook, Kenny. Oh, look at there, Army.
Yeah, Washington Redskins balled out today too.
Yes, but I was referring to Washington.
Washington. Yeah, he did that last week too.
Yeah.
See, Duck's ass made him look good.
Armando Carlos in the house. What's up, Army? How you doing, bud?
Hi, Army.
Kenny, I'm not getting a picture. There you are.
Here
you are. How you doing, Kenny?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing well. We got Army in the house. How about that one?
Hey, Army. What's up, man?
But yeah, the Browns just have no depth in the offensive line, defensive line, in the secondary. And Baker could not get any protection whatsoever. He ended up injuring his right throwing hand because he landed on a face mask of one of the Pittsburgh defenders. And he left for a few plays, but that was the end of the first half, and he was back in the game with a glove on his hand at the start. It was diagnosed as a contusion. There's nothing structurally wrong with no broken anything MRI. I mean, the X-rays were negative, so right now it's just a contusion, or in layman's terms, it's a bruise. So. Mm-hmm. But for the most part, I was disgusted by the way the Browns played today, what I did see of it, because Red Zone was not really focused on that game today for some reason, because it was probably a bad game, Bob. I didn't watch the whole thing. It was probably just a really bad game.
Yeah, I mean, it's two bad football teams. That's all there is to it.
Yeah. I mean, Browns fans were giving some of the people I follow on Twitter. Pitt Steelers fans were giving shit to some of the Browns fans I follow online. They're saying, "Hey, you guys still suck. We just suck worse." You know what I'm saying? Because we both
exactly,
suck.
and that's all it is.
Yes.
I mean, we got to be the worst 7-5 team in the league.
You are. I mean, to be all honest,
by far.
If the Browns were at full strength today, we would have won that game. But we weren't at full strength. So I mean, it was just terrible.
I was surprised that we actually got that the Steelers-Browns game today, but Fox, in their infinite wisdom, decided to switch us from the Eagles-Dolphins game over to Baltimore and San Francisco, so we got to see that one.
That was a good game. I mean, that Baltimore-San Francisco game was one for the record books. And I'll get into that later. I mean, but I'm just this the way the Browns. I mean, granted, we're coming off 3 games in a row. It doesn't change the fact that we don't have any depth. Period, from defense, offensive line, nothing. Katie just showed up. Hi, Katie. And
Katie.
it's just bad. Guys, I did hear from John. Bob was here. He actually popped up on his phone. Kenny, he'll be here. He's on his way in. He's mobile right now, but he'll be in here shortly.
Okay.
Just so you don't have enough people to talk to you for the week. We'll get there. Don't worry.
I'm fully prepared. I got the garbage bags all set up. So before John gets here, let's start with Ohio State and Michigan. And kind of a beatdown that was in Ann Arbor yesterday in the Big House. 59 to I don't even know how many points. It doesn't matter. But it was 27.
Yeah, 59-27.
27.
And it's it was ugly. It was ugly.
I actually had optimistic feelings after that first touchdown. I thought 7-0. Here we go. Finally, we're going to get the monkey off our back.
I was listening. Actually, I was driving back from my folks' house yesterday, and in the rental car, I had Sirius XM in the rental car. I was actually listening to it. I was listening to it on the radio. Hi, Jen. I love you. Anyway,
hi, Jennifer.
And it was I was sitting there in the car driving back and listening to this game. I'm going, God, this game's making me nervous. And then all of a sudden, they started pulling away, and I'm like, all right, I'm a little bit better now. It was 28-16 at half. It was halftime when I actually got back to town yesterday, and was able to watch pretty much all the second half when I got home. So, it was 28-16 at halftime. I was feeling a little better about it. Katie, that's a great question. Katie asked if OSU and Michigan is still a rivalry. It will always be a rivalry. However, it's been very lopsided the last 16 years.
Yes.
Very lopsided. It will always be a rivalry. Hey, Brett. Casey's looking good tonight, Brett. I'm very impressed. But yeah, it'll always be a rivalry, Katie. It's just been very lopsided for the last 16 years. And because the Buckeyes are 15-1 against Michigan over the last 16 seasons, even though one of those wins were vacated because of NCAA violations, but but they still won the game, so we don't take that into consideration.
No.
Kenny, I got to ask you: is Harbaugh the answer?
Is he the answer? Is the answer to is he a coach? The answer is no. It's become fairly obvious to me that Jim Harbaugh is no football coach.
And he's 0-5 against Ohio State, which is like it. Just, I mean, there was so much hope with him coming into Ann Arbor when he was.
Yeah, I know.
That maybe finally Michigan was going to be able to beat Ohio State.
Yeah,
and
they actually, I mean, we wanted him to come in before they hired Rich Rod, and then he kind of backed off on it and took the Ravens job, and they. I mean, not the Ravens job, 49ers, I'm sorry, 49ers. And I got to thinking about it, and the only real reason that the 49ers were in that Super Bowl against the Ravens was Colin Kaepernick. It had very little to do with Jim Harbaugh.
Because Colin Kaepernick was good at making plays on the fly. I mean, just making it up as he goes along.
I think he possibly still could.
Yeah.
You just never get a chance. But Harbaugh, he's more of a cheerleader than anything else.
Right.
And I made this comment yesterday or the day before on Facebook. No, actually yesterday on Facebook, that being a fan of the Dallas Cowboys and the Michigan Wolverines is very alike, because we have two absolute clowns as coaches.
Right.
and I don't know what to say about Michigan football anymore. I mean, I had so much hope. I mean, realistically, I knew there was a real possibility we could get waxed again, and we did.
They played so good all season long. You know what I'm saying?
They do every year. They play.
Yeah.
They make the run about 4 or 5 weeks into the game.
Yep.
Look real good, and then just that kickoff starts, and they just forget how to play football, and it boggles my mind. I don't know what to say.
I mean, I say the same thing about my college team too. Because I am a Penn State fan, and it's the same thing. And when we were ranked 4th, I said, this is still going to be an 8-3 team. We are going to lose to somebody that we should. We're going to lose to somebody that we shouldn't, and then we will lose to Ohio State.
Which you did.
And that's going to be the end of it. And that's going to be the end of it.
Well, they lost to Illinois, didn't they? They lost to Illinois, right?
Yeah. Minnesota.
Oh, they lost to Minnesota. Okay, that's right.
We didn't play Minnesota this year, but you guys beat us. I mean, it was a good game. You still beat us, fairly soundly.
That was
the last game we lost until yesterday.
Yeah, that was. I ended up watching that game. It was, and at the beginning, I was like, "Oh hell no, I'm not watching this."
Katie, I'm not hiding anything. I love the fact that I love to wallow in Michigan's misery. I love to brag at Michigan's misery. I shouldn't even say the name. That team up north, as we should say.
Michigan.
Michigan. But I mean, there's going to be questions in the offseason about whether or not Michigan needs to move on from Jim Harbaugh. But I can't figure out. I don't know who else they go. I mean, do they go after the guy?
I don't know who they would bring in exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, we tried everybody.
I mean, despite the fact that Harbaugh can't get past Ohio State, they're still ranked top 10, top 15 every single year with Harbaugh as head coach.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a double-edged sword when it comes to something like that. You know what I'm saying?
It is.
Right.
They had us in a. I think they had us in. Let me think. It was Gator Bowl or another one of the New Year's Day bowls.
Probably Outback or Gator Bowl, or Citrus Bowl, something like that.
Now I think we're probably going to the Holiday Bowl in San Diego, which I guess is all right. But I'm out of answers. I don't know what to say.
Well, they were ranked 13th going into yesterday's game, so they were. It's not like they were ranked, in the high teens. They were ranked number 13 yesterday. But the talent level, I think, is where Michigan loses out, because the talent level on the Buckeyes is just mountains above what the talent level is in Michigan. Yeah,
it is.
So,
and I don't know. I mean, let me ask you. I mean, this is something that. Okay, I'm getting. Okay, disappeared. Okay, I was getting a prompt on my screen. Michigan and Ohio State have a very similar love-hate relationship with Texas and Oklahoma.
Yes.
And I know that, Oklahoma raids Texas year in and year out for the best players, and they all end up going to Oklahoma. As far as Michigan and Ohio go, a lot of Michigan's best players and in history have come from Ohio.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I see very big similarities between the two. And again, it's not much of a rivalry anymore, a rivalry in the sense of the word.
Right.
But as far as on the field, it's not a rivalry. And Texas OU is not a rivalry anymore, since Oklahoma dominates that series too. So I think the only big real rivalry we have right now in college football, and we saw it yesterday, was Auburn, Alabama. And
no, that was awesome to see.
That was an incredible.
That was a hell of a football game, and I
was
know that we were
incredible.
all cheering for Alabama to lose.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, if you're not from Alabama, you're rooting for Auburn in that game. So,
Right. If you're a fan of anybody else besides Alabama, you're cheering for Auburn yesterday.
Correct.
Yeah, correct. And I absolutely love seeing Nick Saban have conniptions on the sidelines. I don't mean this in the worst way, but I'm just waiting for the day that he goes absolutely ballistic and begins to show signs of having a stroke, because he's headed that direction. I mean, he's not exactly a spring chicken. I mean,
he's not.
You know,
but that LSU Alabama game yesterday was amazing. And when he missed that field goal at the end, I was like, doink! And I'm like, oh my God, again.
And let me let you in this. I was following it on Twitter along with the game.
Yeah.
And Pat Forty from ESPN, or I guess he's not really ESPN anymore, but he used to be ESPN. I think he's Bleacher
Report.
Yeah. He says, it's the last second field goal. What could possibly go wrong? and after he donked the field goal off the post, I go, Pat Forty, you just won the internet.
Brett, answer to your question, no, Rutgers does not deserve to be in the Big Ten. However, Greg Schiano just signed on as the new head coach of Rutgers as of today on a new 8-year, $32 million contract.
8-year contract.
Yeah, 8-year contract. So he got one he wanted, 8 years. And he also got a promise from Rutgers to make a football dedicated facility. So we'll see what happens. But no, Rutgers
isn't
don't
this his
belong.
third go around with Rutgers?
What's
Not
that?
like that.
Isn't this his third go round with Rutgers?
I think so. I don't know. He's just
I know
second.
he's been there twice, but I think he had a third time also. And is that the time he took the job and then left and went to Tampa Bay?
Yeah, which we're
still
recovering from that. Yes.
Yeah, you will be for a while.
He quit Tampa Bay in the middle of the season and decided he was quitting too?
No, he was fired in the middle of the season in Tampa Bay.
Okay.
He was fired. No, it was
Atlanta that ended up going back to college. He quit in the middle of the season. He just quit, and then he went back to college.
Yeah.
Right.
So he was actually the offensive coordinator for the Buckeyes for a while under Urban Meyer.
Yep. I remember.
So
he was in the running to take Michigan's job at one time, but they said, I don't know about him. So
but that Auburn Alabama game yesterday was fantastic.
It was probably the game of the year so far.
Yeah, I mean, I loved it. I loved every minute of it because I can't stand Alabama, and I'll always love it when they lose.
I feel the same way about Nick Saban, no matter where he's at.
Nick Saban. By the way, Bob, you were thinking, but Nick Saban's the guy that left Miami in the middle of the season and went to left and went to Alabama. So, and he was coaching the Dolphins, and he left in the middle of the season.
I was thinking of. There was a guy that was head coach of the Falcons.
Petrino.
What's that?
Bobby Petrino.
Bobby Petrino.
That's the one I was thinking of.
Yeah. That's another program that has fallen on hard times, and I honestly do not understand it, is Arkansas. Arkansas used to have one of the most strongest programs in the nation, and they had some of the best facilities, and they cannot get out of their own way now. I don't understand that at all.
That was loaded though, Kenny. I mean that.
Yeah. I know.
It is.
They're totally out of their league.
So,
A&M and Arkansas are both out of their league. Missouri also. I mean, it is the strongest conference in the nation. There's
agreed.
No two ways about
Tennessee used to be good too.
Tennessee, absolutely, and Tennessee has hit the rocks also, and it's.
I mean, Vanderbilt, they've always been a doormat, but.
Yeah. Vanderbilt comes up once in every blue moon, but that's about it.
Right. And you sit there, and the year that they do that, you're like, Vanderbilt's actually winning this year?
No.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll get to that, Brett. Brett's going about the Ravens. We'll get to that game here later. But yeah, I mean, so we're not going to have a change in the top four, but the championships have been set. Buckeyes are going to play the Wisconsin, which I'm so glad Minnesota got beat by Wisconsin because I was tired of hearing about Minnesota. They're not ready for prime time. They haven't been ready for prime time, and I mean, I know they beat Penn State. I know they've been good. They beat a couple of good teams this year, but I'm just tired of hearing about the Gophers. The Gophers would have gotten whitewashed by Ohio State, just like Wisconsin's going to get whitewashed by Ohio State when they play next week.
Ohio State may win. I don't think it's going to be a whitewash. I mean, Wisconsin gave Ohio State a pretty good game.
Buckeyes killed them in Columbus. They killed them in Columbus.
Yeah, they ain't gonna be in Columbus this time.
Yeah, that's true.
And I think it'll be a pretty decent game. Ohio State will probably still win. But
I mean, they got the best rusher in college football. I'll give them that. Okay, they got the best rusher in college football.
Taylor,
they haven't got much.
Taylor's amazing.
So, but we'll see.
That's true. They do have a pretty strong defense too, because that defense came alive in the second half against Minnesota.
Yeah, they did. They did.
That was actually a decent game in the first half, and then Wisconsin pulled away.
Yeah. Katie is asking, have schools who have switched conferences fared better or worse for the switch? I don't.
Oh, absolutely worse.
Absolutely worse.
Absolutely worse.
Yes.
Because
Rutgers is a perfect example.
It's definitely buyer's remorse.
Yeah, well, Rutgers was bad before that.
Yeah, Rutgers is a perfect example. I mean, they haven't been able to do anything in the Big Ten. So I mean, yeah,
they're overmatched in the Big Ten. They were overmatched before they got to the Big Ten when they were still independent.
Missouri's gone from the Big 12 to the SEC, and they haven't done very well either.
Yeah.
No. Nebraska went in the Big 12 to the Big 10. They've suffered.
Yep.
Colorado's gone from the Big 12 to the Pac-12. They've suffered.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
well,
pretty sad.
With the departure of those teams, Ken, the Big 12 has suffered as well.
Yes, it absolutely has.
Because if Colorado, Nebraska, and Missouri were still in the Big 12, it'd be a better conference, I think.
Right.
Yes. West Virginia's been competitive up until about a year or two ago, and then they've fallen off. I would rather see West Virginia join the ACC than the Big 12.
Katie brings up Maryland, who left the ACC to go to the Big 10, which was also a mistake for Maryland, because Maryland was actually good in the ACC, as opposed to the Big 10. They're doormats.
Mm-hmm.
So, man,
Maryland.
Good point, Katie. Get all this college talk out of the way before John gets here, which is a good thing. You know what I'm saying?
Then I'll have to suck up to him for the Thursday game.
Let me ask, did you guys have a good Thanksgiving?
I did.
Thanksgiving. I spent most of my Thanksgiving evening talking to Katie.
There you go.
She called me on the way home, and I talked to her and kind of glanced at the game now and then until it got so bad I couldn't stand it, and so we just we talked on the phone for 2.5 hours. So that was a great day.
Katie will do that. She'll talk your ear off, but that's part of her charm.
No, I love it. I don't get to talk very much anymore.
Hard to believe she's almost 40. Kenny, she's almost 40. Can you believe this?
Well, I wasn't going to say that.
I know because back in I remember her as the kid still in college. You know
yes, right. I remember.
I mean.
But I knew that too. But remember, I'm only a couple years older too.
That's true. Remember the Katie from going to college? I'm like, this girl cannot be. No, yeah. I know, Katie. I'm sorry. That's all right, Katie. The fact that you're older means I'm much older, which means I'm an old man. So I don't want to, we don't have to discuss that either. So, but yeah, it's amazing. Time flies. Time flies quick.
It does.
Yeah.
Those years have come, and we've lost some mighty good people since then, and since we posted them.
Yes, we have.
Window.
All right, so before John gets here, we'll leave the Buffalo-Dallas talk till John gets here.
Oh, yeah. By the way, Bob, I need to ask you a favor, please.
Sure.
I'd like to have a good picture of Rhonda sent to me if you can.
Yes.
I'm going to set up a memorial gallery of all the people we've lost in our FFL Bar and Grill Facebook group. and I'd like to have one of her, and I'll have one of Rod and Jan and
Char.
Carol and
Char. Do we have one
yep.
of Char?
I don't know. Was she ever on Facebook? I can't remember.
I don't think. No, she passed away in 2011, so I don't know if she was.
Okay, yeah.
So I don't know if she was.
I've got one. I've got a good one of Carol and one of Bonnie.
Okay, good.
And so I can put those in. Denver just took the lead on the Chargers, I believe.
Actually, it looks like that was the winning field goal.
That was winning field goal. Okay, yeah. Man alive, what's happened to the Chargers?
I don't know, but I get bragging rights over John because I beat him in fantasy today, so I'm good with that.
Oh, did you?
Yes, I did. Yes, that puts me in the playoffs, so I'm even happier.
Wow.
And
last I checked,
contest?
I was beating Elliott.
Yeah, you were. Last I saw too. I haven't checked it recently, but you were.
I haven't either. Not since about 4:30. But
was it a pretty close contest?
It was close up until 4 o'clock. I had two players playing at the 4 o'clock games, and John did not have anybody playing at 4 o'clock. So he used all his bills for on Thursday. He had a big time lead on me going into today, but despite McCaffrey's troubles today, I got good points out of LaShawn McCoy, who scored a touchdown today, and some other players. So I managed to, I'll trash talking when he gets here.
I was going over some of my memories on Facebook today. They put those memories thing on there, and there was a day several years back where I had a 151-95 lead over whoever I was playing, but whoever the opponent had Drew Brees on Monday night, and he went bananas and I think he came from behind and beat me.
Oh, jeez.
And I said, well, I'm just waiting for Hurricane Drew to get blow through. So
right.
Yep. Fortune's turn quick.
Let's go through some of today's games before John gets here. I'll say Buffalo and Dallas for when he does come in.
Okay.
We'll maybe come back to these other games. Miami, Washington, and Cincinnati.
All win.
They weren't supposed to beat. The biggest one, of course, is the Miami game beating Philadelphia. Fitzmagic happened once again, and probably the craziest fake field goal in the history of the NFL took place in that game. Could not believe the formation. It was the center with the kicker behind, with the punter behind the center. He had the center had two defenders over him, and everybody else was spread wide left and wide right. The punter takes the snap, runs left like he's going to try to run it in, and does and throws a that I can't think of the name of it. Shovel pass to the place kicker for a touchdown. If you have not seen the play, Google it.
Game?
Watch it. It's hilarious. It's nothing. Everybody was. The social media exploded after that play.
I missed this. And which game was this?
Miami, Philadelphia.
Miami, Philadelphia. Okay.
Yes. Look, you Google or go to YouTube and watch the play. Kenny, you'll die. You can. How the hell did they score on this play?
They'll show it quite a few times tonight. Yes. So I'm going to
But it was just an unbelievable play. And God love Miami. They came back. They were down 14-0 at one point, and to Philly, and they came back and won the game. It was just a phenomenal showing for the Dolphins today. Just a phenomenal showing.
They're trying to screw up and not get their quarterback that they need.
What's that?
I said they're trying to screw up and not get the quarterback that they need.
I know, right? I mean, so far, and then of course the Redskins go into Carolina and beat the Panthers. The Panthers are just bad, really bad. The only good player on the team right now is Christian McCaffrey.
Yes.
And they held him in check.
They did hold him in check today. You're right.
A lot of teams focus on him. I think take him out of the game.
I think he had less than 100 yards from scrimmage today, which is amazing.
Oh yeah, for sure.
it was just it was a fun game to watch from a red zone perspective, and it was fun. It was fun. I don't know what you're talking about, Brett. The Bucs won today. I'm happy. Anyway, Brett's asking what we're going to do about the Bucs. We're not going to do anything about the Bucs right now. The Bucs are doing just fine. I know they're not great as far as the record's concerned, but they had a good game today.
NBC just showed that highlight. that was crazy.
Is that a crazy play or what?
Yes. Just remember, 6 weeks ago we were concerned that the Dolphins would go 0-16.
And same thing. The same thing with
won 3 of the last.
They won 3 out of 4.
Yeah. They're resurrecting the season. And
that one loss was to the Browns. Thank you very much.
Browns. Yep.
It was last weekend. And then the Redskins Dwayne Haskins had a good game today. He got in trouble a couple times, but he had a decent game today.
Yeah.
Geis ran the ball well. Carolina is terrible. And after starting 4-1, Kyle Allen is just not done well at all.
Yeah.
He's had a hard time. And it's sad to see, although I'm glad because they're in the Bucs division. I want them below the Bucs in the division, but that's just me. And then, of course, the Cincinnati Bengals got off the schneid today. They beat the New York.
Finally hatched the egg.
They beat the New York Jets. The Jets will go down in history as the only team to ever get beaten by 2 0-7 teams in one season.
Yeah.
I mean, the Bengals were 0-9, but you know what I'm talking about. There's Mr. Olson.
John. How's it going, amigo?
So, John, we've already got our college talk out of the way just to make you happy.
Oh, good.
It's out of the way.
We've already discussed it. And we're done. So you should be happy with that. We're talking about the wins by Miami, Washington, Cincinnati today. Did you see that play in the Miami game today, the fake field goal?
Yeah, I heard about it, but I pay about as much attention to Miami as I do the Browns.
Oh, thanks. But no, when if you get a chance, look it up on Google or YouTube or the NFL Network and watch that play. It's a formation and a play that is never been seen in the NFL or never heard of in the NFL before. It was crazy.
Yeah, Schefter and what's his name, Rappaport were tweeting about it.
Yeah.
I've never seen that in all my years. Doesn't matter. Raptors are up by 40 at the half.
There you go. Wow. Okay.
Wow.
But hey, they're not in the top 10 of ESPN's teams. They are defending champs and all, but whatever.
Yeah.
That was my rant. I'm going to rant about that, but what a day I just had.
What 3 days you've had?
He was talking about it before you came on air, before you came into the room, Kenny. He was talking about it before we showed the show, on his phone. It's something that you just don't see every day.
It's to explain it. It's like I just told my mom about it, and my mom was just like, "That really happened?" I'm like, "Yeah, that actually I just went through that." Let's just say that I pay a whole lot of money to a storage place that says they have 24/7 security. Yeah, no, no, not at all. I basically had a guy. I was putting some things away in storage. And I'm rolling my little cart up to the storage unit, and I hear all this talk going on beside the storage unit. And it's this guy's like, "Are you a cop or a civilian?" I'm like, I ignore him. "Are you a cop or civilian?" So I could already tell that this guy's high as he is high as hell, man. Like he's just gone. And I ignore him, and then he's like, "I'm gonna blow myself up if you don't tell me." So calm about it, right? I'm like, "Okay, dude, just relax. I'm just putting my stuff away." So I'm like, okay, well, the smell of smoke and God knows what else and drugs and food and all this stuff is permeating in the storage unit now. So I'm like, well, this is all my worldly possessions that are here. So let's get this guy out. Wait a minute. There's no one I can call. Their 1-800 number went to a reservation specialist in Utah. And then there was no one I could have talked to. So the lady on the reservation line, she's like, well, you should probably call the cops because he said he was going to blow himself up. I'm like, you think? Really? So I ended up being the doorman for the 3 cops that came and the paramedics. And then to top it all off, his mother shows up, this guy's mom, on the phone with her son. And he's obviously going through some stuff. But, you know, the last cop was just laughing his ass off. He's like, so you mean to tell me that there's no one working? You're someone who pays for your storage and you're sitting here opening the doors for us? I'm like, yep, that's what I do on Sundays. So that was my Sunday night.
Oh, boy.
Did they end up taking him away?
I didn't dude. I was there for.
As you're able to, isn't it? Yeah.
I was there for an hour and a half waiting for, and this is God bless the cops of Edmonton. 3 individual cruisers come with 1 cop in each car. Why are you here? How did you just open the door like that? Come here.
Did the dog?
No, he's gonna hang out for a minute.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Oh.
Isaiah?
I did shut the door.
Hey, Zach.
No. Hey, buddy. Not Daddy. This is Daddy. That's you and Daddy. Yeah, it's good. Well, no one wants to see the fries you're eating. No one wants to see the fries you're eating. Show them your dinosaur. Show them your dinosaur. Nice.
Oh, wow.
Is that a raptor?
Of course it is. Absolutely. It's a yellow raptor, but it's still a raptor. Yes, he will never have anything. No brontosauruses will happen in this house. It's a raptor. Say it. Say raptor. Say that's Kyle Lowry.
Hi, Daddy.
Okay.
Hi, Daddy.
Hi, Daddy. Yeah, that's Daddy. Yeah. Okay. Are you gonna go see
good
more
God.
now? What?
Thursday.
Oh yeah. Do we get to talk about that yet, or is Ken like okay?
We have not even brought. I mean, I brought up the
Wait for
subject
you.
saying that we were going to
We
wait
waited
till
for
you
you.
got here before you brought this up. So feel free to poke the bull and go right ahead.
What I would like to note is all of the experts across. I think there was one guy on like WKRP in Cincinnati, okay, that picked the Bills. Every other single. Oh wait,
had to
hold
be-
on. The cop is calling.
That had to
me.
be enough. Man.
Here's the cop. Hold on.
Oh.
Hello. Hey man, how you doing? Oh, I bet. Yeah. Jeez, dude. Oh. Okay.
The drama.
Yep.
The drama.
Yeah, April 27. April 24th, 77.
God, I'm old.
Yeah, man.
Oh,
No
man,
worries,
good.
man. Hope everything's okay. Yeah, no worries, man. No worries at all. Cool. All right, man. Okay. You too. Bye. Okay. So as the cop, he's in the ambulance and he was high as hell. So he's okay. He's going to the hospital. Everything's good.
Okay.
Cool. And apparently the guy's like, there was a whole bunch of stuff in the locker. He locked himself in the locker and there's like a whole bunch of crap. So I can't wait to go there tomorrow and go to these guys, be like, hey, guess what, guys? You owe me some money. Don't hit the fish. We have a fish now. He's got a little fish, so he's smashing the
raptor against the fish bowl. Yeah.
the raptor against the fish. Come on. Okay, so where was I? Thursdays.
About the pundits picking Dallas.
Every single expert picked Dallas.
On CBS and Fox, and I told my
Every
dad,
last one of them.
and I said, these guys are messing up. I told my dad, I said,
You don't understand.
everybody
You
is
never
thinking
underestimate the Bills. Because, John, you know why you never underestimate Bills? Because nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills.
Absolutely.
That's
Absolutely.
right.
I went to
Chris
me and my son went to the sports bar to watch it. Of course, all the games are on. They had to have my kid took a picture of it. There was the curling was on in the sports bar. I kid you not. Like it's like Thursday, and there's curling. Like I was just like, are you kidding me? Anyways, yeah. Yeah, it was a great game. I mean, I'm just, huh? What? People are screaming at me down here. Anyways, so yeah, Buffalo won. Every single pundit said they weren't going to win. And then all of a sudden the next day they're all I got a kick out of I like Nate Burleson. Like yeah. He's from Calgary originally. He said for Dallas to win, you should have heard him backpedaling on Good Morning America. Good Morning Football, sorry. He's like, oh yeah, Buffalo is great, and this, and like everybody called him out on Twitter. They're like, oh yeah? Well, why did you pick Dallas then, buddy? If they were so great and you loved them so much. Anywho, that's my story.
Let's let me relate some couple of things here. Monday or Tuesday, I was in one of my local grocery stores. We're about anywhere half a dozen Bills fans in there loading up on groceries and stuff. I'm presuming for the tailgating party.
Yeah.
And Bills fans were all over Arlington the last 2 or 3 days before the game.
That's the way it is.
They follow them everywhere. So
Buffalo travels very well.
They do. They have one of the best followings in the entire league. So, and they are loyal to the bone.
Just like Browns fans and Raiders fans. Those are probably the 3 most loyal fan bases in the NFL. In Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh also travels very well.
We're psychotic. Right. Like, we got problems.
Anybody who plays here travels very well. So.
Yeah. 100,000 people in the stadium, of course, you're always going to have seats.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you watched the game, the last 5 minutes, you heard nothing but cheering from the Bills fans because all the Cowboys fans had already left. So
yeah.
It's my hat's off to you, John.
All the Buffalo reporters, they always do they take their phone and they do Periscope and they just go along the sidelines.
Hi, Tanya.
So it was fun. It was fun. Good game.
Tanya was at that's my sister. Tanya was at the Jacksonville game today. She saw the Buccaneers stomp all over the Jags today. Question. Are the Dallas Cowboys going to be the only 8-8 team to fire their head coach after the playoffs are over?
In due time. It won't be right away, but it will be in due time.
I mean, they could go 8-8, still win the division, be in
the regular season.
They could go 8-8.
Yeah.
Win the division, have a home playoff game. Either lose that home playoff game or not, whatever. But they're not going to make the Super Bowl. They'll lose. They're not going to beat Seattle. They're not going to beat San Francisco. They're not going to beat Green Bay. They're not going to beat any of those teams. Okay.
Nope.
They could make the playoffs at 8-8, win the division, and Garrett still not get his contract renewed.
No, there will be no contract. There will be no new contract. There will be a new coach next year. I don't know who it's going to be. I hope it's not Jim Harbaugh, but I don't know who the next coach is going to be, but his name will not be Jason Garrett.
That's just, I mean, there's one common denominator over the last 25 years since the Cowboys have been champions.
Yeah.
And the main reason why the Cowboys have not won a championship since Barry Switzer left, basically it was since Jimmy Johnson left, because I don't count Barry Switzer's championship as a Switzer championship. I count it as a Jimmy Johnson championship because it was Jimmy's players. Okay?
Yes. Yep.
The other thing is, the one common denominator is it can't be a good thing when your owner and GM are the same person.
The common denominator is Gerald Wayne Jones.
Is Jerry Jones.
Jerry Jones.
Yes.
Because
he's been the GM since he took the team, since he bought the team.
Yes.
Right. And the owner's not going to fire the GM. It's not going to happen. But Jerry Jones needs to take a good hard look at it and say, okay, maybe it's time for me to step away from the GM shop and let someone younger and with more and just take over the GM position, because he's the reason the Cowboys have not been successful. It's not the players. It's not the head coaches, because he's had great head coaches. He's had Bill Parcells. He's had
Yes.
He's had Phillips has been the head coach. Jason Garrett's not a bad head coach, but he's outlasted his welcome. Okay, Jerry Jones is the reason why the Cowboys have not been successful.
He is. I cannot argue. That's absolutely the fact.
But can I just say something? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Ken, and then I'll rant.
No. Name me another owner in any sport across the board, where at the end of the game, all of the journalists there, the sports writers and everything, flock to the owner instead of anybody else.
Yeah, the owner holds a press conference after every single game.
Yes. And they get to him first, then they go after Garrett or the players, but they get him first. I have never seen anything like it in any sport on the face of the earth.
No, me either.
Anything. And it again, it boggles my mind. I mean,
right.
Why? I mean, the media feeds this, and
I mean, you never saw the Rooney's do this. You never saw the Rooney's do this.
No.
Jim Brown, not Jim Brown, but Paul Brown never did it. Even Mark Rodell would do it.
This is the thing. This is the thing that we all forget, and it's really. I'm gonna be Captain
Obvious.
No, not Captain. More Devil's Advocate.
Okay.
You need a red jacket if you're gonna be Captain Obvious.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He's the owner.
Mm-hmm.
He can technically do whatever the shit he wants to.
Correct.
He does.
And he does.
And he does. Now, the Rooneys, they played the position of being the owners. They let the manager do the thing, the coach do the thing, play the background. Right. Even the Pagulas. I mean, Kim is out there, but most owners play the position of, I'll sit back. That's not Jerry. That's not Jerry, man.
Jerry's ego is so big, he needs that attention, though, John.
But it's his team. He owns the freaking Dallas Cowboys. It's not like he owns like a car wash.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he can do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
Within reason, obviously. But like when it comes to the Cowboys, like I was just sitting there, I'm watching and like he storms off and he's like this and he's freaking out and he's walking and I'm watching these poor the guys that are holding the doors open for him, but I'm just sitting there going like, the shit they must see. Can they say anything? Like, are they allowed to? Like, Jerry behind closed doors? Like, anyways, it's Jerry, man. It wouldn't be the Cowboys without him.
That's the thing. He left before the game was over, and he went straight to the locker room.
Yeah.
And then after everybody else got there, they had it out, and they said that it was very loud. It was very angry in there. And if it's that situation in the locker room, then Jason Garrett's already lost the team. And
Michael Bennett was very vocal in that locker room after the game, from what I understand.
Yes. And it's just a really bad situation here right now. They're going to win the division, obviously, now by default, because this is the worst division in all of football right now.
And, it's pretty bad.
And speaking of the Roonies, and I want to give this to Bob. You know, everybody's talking about Shanahan and coaches like him and the head coach in Green Bay about Coach of the Year. The job Mike Tomlin has done with what he has should be in this. It should be in the discussion of being head coach of the year.
I'll never understand.
I have never been a Tomlin fan, but I am finally starting to come around just because what I have seen this year.
You know, they went into halftime today at 10-10, Bob, and the adjustments that Tomlin made at halftime to stop the Browns in the second half is what won the game for them. They played off the Browns' weaknesses. And
first half, Chubb ran all over them.
Yeah.
First half.
Yeah. But Tomlin went into the locker room at halftime, made some adjustments, got everybody together, calmed them down, made the adjustments, and they went out and played to those adjustments, and they won the game. Now, again, I still say the reason why Pittsburgh won that game is because the Browns have no offensive line depth, they have no defensive line depth, and we're working off our seventh-string safety at this point. So we've had injuries and we had depth problems, and the owner and the front office is responsible for that. Freddie Kitchens called 6 running plays in the second half. 6. You don't take your best horse and put him on the bench. You put him in, and you give him the freaking ball.
Who's the best horse, though? You have Kareem Hunt and you have Nick Chubb.
It's Nick Chubb. You give Nick Chubb the ball.
Like it's that's the problem right there. You have
Nick Chubb the ball. All right, Kareem Hunt is a great weapon, but he's better out of the backfield than running between tackles.
So glad you guys lost today. Just
Why?
to bring you back. Just to bring you back down to earth a little.
Well, you know what? I have not been all in on this team all season long. You know that.
No, I know. But okay. There was the 3 wins in a row. There was the people saying, "Oh, I got a shot." Just in case you guys weren't paying attention, there's this team called Baltimore that's just kicking ass.
Yeah, but the Browns did beat Baltimore this year in Baltimore.
Yeah, that's before they.
And they were a different team when the Browns beat them too. So
that's before Lamar became Superman.
And that was when we actually had a defensive line, which we don't have now because our best defensive player is out for the season because he was a dumbass.
Understand.
But
I'm glad. See the smile Bob's got down there. It's very. I saw that. I was like, they're up 10-0. I was like, man, this is Pittsburgh.
And I've been telling everybody for like 2 weeks. I said, whenever they come to Pittsburgh, I would bet my house and everything that I own that Steelers will get them this time.
He did.
And
it does bring him back down to earth.
Even on a quarterback named Duck Dynasty from –
good God, Duck.
From wherever he's from, Southern Alabama State Tech or whatever it was.
Non-drafted free agent.
Yes, undrafted rookie free agent.
That was actually the reason I picked the Browns to win today, because they were playing the third quarterback. But
they couldn't protect Baker to save their life today. That was the problem. Yeah. No, they weren't. Baker was harassed and beat up, and he went out injured at the end of the half because he smacked his thumb on a face mask of a defender. And it was ugly. And you know what? Fire everybody. I don't care. Get rid of them. The play calling was awful because they weren't using Nick Chubb. They weren't using Kareem Hunt. They were throwing the ball almost every down in the second half. They weren't trying to grind the ball like they can, because eventually the more you run the ball, the more tired the defense gets. That's why you run the ball. But no, Freddie wants to throw the ball.
But you've got Jarvis Landry and Odell Beckham Jr. Why don't you throw the ball?
Because if you don't run the ball, they know they're not gonna be threatened by running the ball, and they're gonna cover those guys.
Because they're shite. That's why.
Oh, no, they're not.
Oh, wait a minute. This quarterback was wearing number 6. That was Bubby Brister.
Oh, and by the way, John, I did kick your ass
I said
today,
earlier.
I wasn't paying attention.
Brister's fighting. Whenever.
How did you kick my ass? I was up big.
Not anymore. Check it out, my friend. Well, I didn't kick your ass, but I beat you. You were winning big going in today because you used all your players on Thursday.
Why can't I sign? God, I hate NFL fantasy, man. I can't even sign in. Like, it's the stupidest thing. Sign in.
I have a question for the panel here. Does Tennessee look like the best team in the AFC South right now?
God, no. They're all shit.
I don't know what's happening with the Colts. I mean, one week they look fantastic, and then the next week.
Houston's still the best team in that division.
Well, we're going to find out tonight. They're playing New England.
Right, but regardless, they're still the best team in that division.
Tannehill's 5-1 since taking the helm of that team.
Look at this shit. Look at this. Look at this bullshit. Look at this. You won because of freaking some degenerate, like I hate this one. You won because of your IDP players.
Yes.
Which is complete luck. Can I just rage quit? This shit just freeze on me?
You just froze on me, but I can still hear you.
We can still hear you, but
you're frozen, but
You're frozen, but I can still hear you, John.
On the screen.
Is he there?
Oh, completely now?
Is he gone now? Completely?
Gone now. But
Yes.
I mean, I still see.
I can see him, but there's no sound or audio, video. Now he's gone.
There we
There
go.
he's.
All right. Can I rant
There we
again?
go.
Yes, go
Yeah.
ahead.
Dude, it froze on me, man. I don't know. Okay. You won because of your IDP. That's it. That's it. No skill at all. Zero skill. No talent at all. You won, like, I'm not playing. If we're doing IDP next year, I'm done. I'm not. No way I'm playing in this league. It's the stupidest scoring ever. IDP. IDP. I lost because of freaking Eric Reed. Seriously?
Yeah.
I lost because of Eric Reed.
Yep. Sorry, John.
So stupid. So stupid, man. Anywho, thanks for listening.
Well, I was losing after the 1:00 games. I was still losing.
You want to know why you were losing? Because I had better players than you. But because of IDP, we've got to cater to the like. There's a reason why on Fantasy Sports Radio they give about maybe a minute a week to IDP.
But we lost Kenny. Oh boy.
Maybe
a
minute a week. That's why no one plays IDP. Okay, don't listen to Elliot. Him and his little warped little ways of doing things. That's how he plays. But no one plays IDP. Like, they never talk about it. Fantasy Sports Radio never talk about it.
Then since I am the sports nerd, I will implement this for Elliot next season. We are not playing IDP next year.
Oh, please, just DST, straight up DST. It's like pick a defense, easy.
Yeah.
Don't need to think about it. It's like I don't want to spend my time. Like, I'll be brutally honest. Maybe it's lazy. Maybe I've never looked.
John,
at IDP
you've got more things important to do than worry about your fantasy team each week too.
Well, that and taking care of
you got two kids
units.
and a wife to take care of too. So
well, no, I'm thinking of the storage units and letting the cops in and out of the storage units. While I pay these clowns $250 a month to take care of my stuff, and they've got a guy smoking crack beside my crate.
There you go.
I'm sitting there thinking, like, what has he through? Because there's no tops to them.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's an indoor one, so the only is just chicken mesh on top. So you can't climb over and grab stuff, right? God knows what he was living in it. He's throwing whatever. Who knows what is on my side now? Check this out. Imagine this happens, Scott. A year from now, when I move and I'm starting to move stuff out of there, and then all of a sudden, my kid picks up the needle that he threw over there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Or I prick my finger when I'm moving stuff because I don't know what's underneath something. Right? Like.
Right. I understand. I know what you're talking. I know what you're saying.
But IDP sucks. Thank you. She's having a hell of a time tonight, huh?
There you go. Come on. Where is he? Come on, Kenny. Let's try it now. There you go. He says he's lost the connection, so I don't know what's going on. Oh.
It just died for me, man. Like, just shut down.
Died on you?
Just died on me.
Yeah, I'll check the restream logs when it comes in and see if we lost any kind of connections.
Oh, screw Restream, by the way, too.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, screw them. You don't use Restream, do you?
Yes, I do.
Oh, dude. So I'm ready to do my show this past week, right?
Yeah. Which one? You get like 3 a week.
Monday night, I can't remember. It was like Monday or Wednesday. And then all of a sudden this warning sign comes up and says, you need to upgrade to use these features. I'm like, this is what I've been paying for forever and ever and ever. And now I've got to pay extra to use the features that I've always been using? Yep, that's how it is. Okay, Restream.
So now what are you using?
I'm not using Restream. I'm going direct to Zoom. Zoom direct to the stream. Vim's going to suffer. Sorry, Vim, but that's the only way I could have used it was through Restream. But
all right, because you got the pro model for not pro, but you got the upgraded version of
I got the mortgage payment version. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, the mortgage payment version. So
which I can't do that. So
I can't tell you how awesome it is to spend the money I'm spending and then have 10 people come to my shows every day. It's just,
then that's with me
it
only
makes
having.
me feel so loved.
Yeah, I know, and I get even less because I don't.
You don't do anything. No, you don't promote a thing.
I know.
I'll rant on that another time. I'll rant and rant and rant, but it'll fall on deaf ears. We've been bugging you for half a decade about it.
All right, John. We'll discuss it later. I promise you. At some point in time, you and I will discuss it. Okay. I'll take your ideas and I'll put them in my brain and try to figure out what I'm going to go for. I mean, I've got some ideas on what I want to do as well, but yeah. So we'll get into that.
It's exciting.
Huh?
It's exciting.
Yeah.
What else is going on?
I don't know why Kenny.
The Raptors, they had a 40-point lead. Now it's down to 22.
Who?
Raptors.
Oh.
Anywho.
So the Broncos started Drew Lock today, their rookie, and they ended up winning. He
did he?
Yeah, he threw touchdowns today for his first start. He was highly touted coming out of college. They drafted him, but he's been on the bench all year because I think he got injured in training camp. But yeah, so you're happy with your Bills win?
Extremely happy with the Bills. Yes. Excuse me.
You still have to play the Patriots yet, right?
Yeah, we got Ravens next week.
Okay. Well, that's gonna be fun.
Ravens, Patsies, and then I think the Jets.
Ken, you're upside down. Ken, you're upside down. There you go. There you go.
He's just living life, man. Yeah, you can be upside down.
Steelers in there too.
Yes, the Steelers. Yes, we play the Steelers. So we got Ravens, Steelers, Jets, and Patsies left.
Because I just checked it today because we got.
There you go, Kenny. Oh, you had it.
Hang on 1 second.
You had
because
it.
we got.
There you go.
We got Jets, Buffalo, Ravens, and
Bengals.
No.
Big shout out to the Bengals.
I know, right?
Hey,
beating the Jets today.
Andy Dalton, buddy.
Andy Dalton comes back in his first game and beats the Jets for John. He's happy.
And you know what? I had to have him on my fantasy team today.
Andy Dalton?
Yes.
You had a good game. You played a good game.
Yeah. I mean, my choices were Duck Dynasty, Drew Haskins, Drew Lock, or Andy Dalton. So I picked Dalton.
You know, he's been CSAT the last 2 games behind the rookie, and the rookie couldn't do shit, so they brought him back in. Brett asks, who was our dark horse as a possible team to end strong in possible playoff spot? I don't know.
Well, I'll say Buffalo because everybody shits on them.
Well, Buffalo's like the 5th seed right now.
They're 5th seed, but we still get shit on. We still don't get any respect. We're not a real team because we haven't beat any real teams yet, right? I mean, it's yeah.
Because Dallas isn't a real team either.
Yeah,
no.
Dallas isn't a real team. Denver's not a real team. Whatever.
Dallas will be out.
What's your record?
By the kickoff of the first round.
They're 9-3.
9-3. Got to start believing sometime.
Is that game against Baltimore? And is it in Buffalo or is it in Baltimore?
No, it's in Baltimore. It's in Baltimore. Close.
I was asking, was it in Buffalo or is it in Baltimore?
I know, but you said, was it in Baltimore or is it in Baltimore?
Did I really say that?
You really said that. That was awesome. It's in Buffalo. It's in Buffalo.
It's in Buffalo?
Yeah.
Orchard Hills, whatever that is.
Orchard Park. Orchard Park, man.
Yes, yes.
The thriving metropolis of Orchard Park, New York. The field. The field with a bunch of houses lined around the field.
Field of dreams.
Dude, it's like where they put this thing is like they must have bought that land in like the 50s for like $1 or something. Real cheap. Because there's nothing around it. Like it's like
I guess my dark horse with what the job he's done with what he's got it's going to be Pittsburgh if they can get in.
I'm good with Pittsburgh.
They suck, but they're 7-5. They actually are the 6th seed right now, Bob.
Number 6 seed right now.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's how bad the AFC is.
That even possible?
That's how bad the AFC is. They're the 6th seed right now.
And they would
How is
open up
that even possible?
if they were to open up right now. They'd go to Kansas City,
Yes.
I believe. Pittsburgh and Kansas City.
Actually, yeah, because Kansas City would be the 3 seed.
Right.
And then Buffalo would go to the 4th seed, which is
Houston.
Houston,
Or
yes.
whatever Houston or
Houston or Tennessee.
Tennessee.
You know, my guess would be the Steelers or Tennessee, one of the two, would be my dark horse. But I think in the AFC South, I think only the division winner is going to make it in as far as that goes. But we'll see. But yeah, Pittsburgh's the number 6 seed right now, Bob.
That amazes me.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's I'd pick that, man. Exactly, Katie. Yes.
Buffalo would open up against either Houston or Indianapolis.
Yep.
Or Tennessee.
Yeah, it's a suburb, Katie. There's nothing to it. It's so like I can't even explain. Like if you've ever been to Orchard Park, you'll totally understand. It's nothing. There's nothing there. It's a field. It's whatever. They need a new arena, a new stadium.
Oh, and Minshew Mania is back. He played today.
Minshew Mania.
They benched him. They benched Nick Foles today for Minshew.
Yeah.
Because Foles threw like 2 or 3 picks, and they were done with him. Minshew came in and they scored 2 touchdowns back to back.
This is awesome.
But how about that? The game of the day. Do you guys think that solved any as far as who's the better team? I don't. I think that it was pretty even.
I think it was very even.
Even though Baltimore ended up winning that game at the buzzer.
That was a Justin Tucker field goal. You know what I mean? I mean, that's –
Justin Tucker's just automatic. And
He's automatic. Yeah.
But I don't think it solved anything as far as who the better team was. I thought they both played excellent.
If that was in San Fran wins that. You know what I mean?
If they're on a neutral site, you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And that could be
I think we could see a neutral site game in February between those two.
Correct.
I think it was. It had a Super Bowl feel to it.
Now, if Seattle wins tomorrow night, they are the number 2 seed. Actually, no, they're the number 1 seed, I think, in the NFC. Yeah, they're the number 1 seed in the NFC. They've got the division lead because they got the tiebreaker over San Francisco. They'll
be tied.
That game today was just it was a heavyweight boxing match between two teams that you could see were the best teams in probably the 2 best teams in the NFL right now.
Yep.
And I mean, Garoppolo had a mediocre day, but he kept the team in it. Both defenses played out of their minds today.
Yes.
They kept Jackson pretty much bottled up most of the day. I mean, he did have some breakaway runs. Don't get me wrong, but for the most part, that defense kept him in check. He didn't have any. I mean, he did break the ankles of one cornerback today that he on one play.
He had 84 yards rushing and a touchdown in the first half, so they didn't bottle him up that much.
They did in the second half.
They did in the second half.
I didn't watch it. I was watching the Redskins and I was watching the Steelers and Browns.
Right.
I think one of the most hilarious things I've heard in the last few weeks is these defensive experts keep saying, you need a linebacker to spy on him and follow him everywhere he goes. And I'm thinking,
teams have tried that. It doesn't work.
No, it does not work. It didn't work with Randall Cunningham. It didn't work with Michael Vick. It's not working with Lamar Jackson.
No, Lamar Jackson is the second coming of Michael Vick, but he's got accuracy in his throws.
Yeah.
Right.
Not bad for a kid who was supposed to be a running back or a wide receiver coming out of college, right? They were going to make him a running back or a wide receiver.
Right.
Dude.
I don't think so.
Look what Katie put.
And a whole lot of nothing much.
He
went to the Pats-Bills game in Orchard Park in 2017.
Do you know what game that was?
Wasn't that the game that they won? The Bills won?
No.
Or that was the game you were at?
No.
It was an New England game. Buffalo,
What happens when Tom
Yeah.
Brady comes to Buffalo? What usually gets thrown on the field?
Oh, dildos. The dildo game.
Dildos.
Dildo Gate. Yes,
Dildo Gate,
Katie
yes.
was there for it, live and direct.
Yes.
Awesome. I would have saluted the guy who did it. I think that's the funniest thing ever. I can't. That's so amusing to me. Especially they throw it right at his feet. It's the funniest thing. Anyways, thanks for listening. See? Yeah. Oh yeah, that's the game when Gronk went nuts on Tre'Davious White and took his head off. Right.
Really?
Right, yeah. Yeah, last year, 2017. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dildo Gate too. There's dildos. There's always dildos.
But I was not responsible.
That would have been hilarious. They caught the guy too, and he's like a national treasure in Buffalo. It's like
He's been banned, hasn't he?
oh, yeah, but
Yeah.
come on.
You don't care.
If you think one of the gate guys in Buffalo is going to be like, nah, you threw that dildo at Tom Brady, you can't get in. Come on. Do that for show. That's all show.
They're gonna say he's been banned, but
for life.
they're gonna say he's been banned, but
he's,
you know.
he's in the box
Yeah.
with Terry and Kim.
He could put on a Bobby Valentine disguise and get in. So.
Oh yeah. It's great. It's fantastic. It could be worse.
Oh, too funny.
This is a great day for me, other than the fact that I was being doorman for the cops. But
Having to deal
the
with
fact
the
that I could actually watch football this morning was nice without stress. It was like a bye week for me, but better because we won this week. You know, It was like very enjoyable.
Yes.
I enjoyed it. Very relaxing. I actually got to watch Red Zone today. I never watched the 1 o'clocks because I'm always watching the Bills game only, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I watch Red Zone 4 o'clock on. But.
Yeah, I mean.
By the way, did you see my tweet Thursday from the Chicago-Detroit game?
No, what'd you say, Kenny?
I said we pinpointed the reason for the power outage just before halftime of the Lions game.
There was a power outage at halftime
Tim,
with the Lions.
Yeah, I said it was either Tim Taylor getting in the maintenance room again, or Jason Garrett. His clap off is stronger than we thought.
Garrett's awesome.
You know, it just.
Garrett could be the next Cleveland coach.
Oh, shut up, Kenny.
Or the Giants. Cleveland, the Giants. We're going to
No,
make
the Giants actually had. There's
Black-
rumors the Giants actually want him.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. And I told a friend of mine, so we can make you a great Black Friday deal.
Which, by the way, it was an epic game in New York because it was a snow game. It was great watching the game in the snow.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't great. You want to know why it wasn't great?
Because Aaron Rodgers won?
Because LaFleur drives me nuts, man. Like,
Here we go.
yeah.
Uh-oh.
Here we go.
There we
Come
go.
on.
Here we go.
Aaron Jones could have some of the best numbers this year for a running back.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
But for some reason, they want to play Ja'Awfa Williams for 50% of the snaps now. Doesn't do anything. Never does anything.
Aaron Jones had a couple of attempts at the touchdown today. He was held out of the end zone a couple times.
Right, because he gets it 1 out of every 4 chances he'll get it because they got to split carries with Ja'Awfa Williams.
Yes.
It blows my mind. I don't get it. Okay, he wants to run the ball, and I know that's Rodgers doesn't like that, and whatever. Give the guy he's a freaking stud, man. He's amazing. But the fact that LaFleur plays this split carry backfield with this jackhole who can't run for 10 yards if you opened the Red Sea for him.
Yes, Katie, he said Ja'Awful.
Ja'Awful. Yes.
Katie's a Packers fan, so yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Listen, if there's an NFC team I like the Packers. Even though I'm not like Scott who has 2 teams, okay? I'm Bills and Bills only, but if I enjoy watching the Packers, I do. If they're on, it's much watch TV for me. I've been watching Ja'Awfa Williams now for a couple of years. He's shit. He's garbage. He's the worst option they have, and they've got this freaking stud stud in Aaron Jones, and they never give him the ball. Give him the ball once or twice a possession. Thank you.
And he does this on a weekly basis, and it has everything to do with the fact that Aaron Jones is on his fantasy team, and he wants Aaron Jones.
Not only that, yes, okay, he's on both of my fantasy teams, but because I drafted him in like the 7th round, you know.
Yes.
And everyone's like, he's shit. He's shit. LaFleur's never going to give them the run. They're going to just give it to Rodgers. Rodgers is going to be the running back on that team because, you know, like they're just going to throw it to Devontae Adams all day. No. Like, see what how many
But he did. He threw it to Deontay all day long. Deontay had a great game.
What's that?
He did throw it to Deontay today, and we had a great game.
Oh, yeah. Devontae's great. Fantastic. Too bad the jackass is on the other team that I was playing and got all those points. I'm not bitter at all, kid. No, totally fine. I mean, what do I know? LaFleur's the big honcho in Green Bay, right? He gets paid the big bucks. He's the Mr. Offensive Wizard, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yep.
Packers are leading the division.
Packers
number
are
3
leading
seed
the
right now.
division.
They are. And that's why it's like no one cares. It's like, shut up. Like, you know, you're not even a Packers
Actually,
guy.
number
It's
2
like,
seed. Excuse me.
like, they're just, it's frustrating as shit, man.
Katie agrees
He's
with you.
underappreciated.
Katie
Yes.
agrees with you.
Yes, he's underappreciated. He's amazing.
Yes.
He's amazing. Like, I love watching that kid run, and it's just like it blows my mind that they don't feed him.
Doing the Zeke thing. Here you go. Feed me.
Doing the Zeke thing. Feed me. Dude, you know what I wanted to see? I wanted to see Cole Beasley catch that touchdown and then jump into the Salvation Army thing. That's what I was hoping for, man.
He was thinking about it too. I'll bet.
He was. You could see it. It was processing.
Yeah.
Beasley had a good game. Thank you very much for those 20-plus fantasy points.
And he's poor man's Julian Edelman.
Yes, he is.
Love it.
Yes,
Love
he
it.
is.
Love me some Cole Beasley. Rumors, though. You know what the rumors are?
What's that?
I was because when the Bills win, I every single Bills media guy I follow and like their comments and whatever. They have a lot of money to spend in the offseason.
Mm-hmm.
They're saying the big target.
Des Bryant.
Plays for the Cowboys, but Amari Cooper.
Really?
Amari Cooper
Really?
will be a free agent, right?
It will be.
And apparently, him and the Cowboys aren't talking. And
No.
here's Buffalo. Amari's a great kid.
By talking, you mean negotiating?
Negotiating,
The answer
right?
is negotiating. No, they're not.
Yeah. So
They're
not.
I'm sitting
negotiating
there
just like
thinking,
I can't
Terry
confirm
is negotiating with Dak right now. It ain't happening.
right? Yeah, because Dak
No.
is such a superb quarterback and definitely
Dak
deserves $40
is
million.
I'm sorry, Ken, but Dak is very overrated. He is very
average.
He is. I totally
He's
agree with
decent.
him. He's totally overrated.
He's
Dak
decent.
Prescott is the same Dak Prescott I saw at Mississippi State. And he's
Tony
not
Romo was
improved any.
better.
Yeah.
Tony Romo was better.
Yes. And Tony Romo didn't get
Was
him
average
anywhere.
as well. He was overrated too, but that's just neither here nor there.
That again goes to the general manager.
Yes. Uh-oh. John's gonna write something.
Uh-oh.
Beasley.
Mm.
Smoke. Cooper.
That's sexy.
That's
right?
a great trio right there, John.
Not sexy?
That's very sexy.
That's what I'm thinking in the offseason right there.
Go get you some Amari Cooper.
Go get me some Amari Cooper. That is a wide receiving core.
That would be.
Anybody see who's leading the AFC in receiving yards?
Um,
Anybody?
John Brown.
yeah, it'd be John Brown. Yes.
Smoke dog, baby.
Yeah.
Been smoking since I was 2.
Katie says she's happier with Romo in the booth.
Yeah, Romo's
Oh,
great in the booth. It's
Tony
just
Romo is one of the best analysts I've ever seen.
He's amazing. He really is.
He is incredible.
Yes.
he is.
Yes.
He is. But when they call Dallas games, there's a little bit of Homer bias.
Oh, sure there is. Of course there is.
Not as much as like
Phil Simms with the Giants?
Yeah, Phil Simms with the Giants. You know,
Or Phil Simms. Phil Simms and the Patriots.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's not that bad. But they're like I noticed it on Thursday. You know, it was They were like shocked that Buffalo was like this good team and shit. It's just like, yeah, we just appeared, you know. We were, you know, just magically.
Buffalo was put on the big stage Thanksgiving Day in Dallas in the prime spot, the 4 o'clock game, and they balled and they showed up and they beat the boys.
Let me
Was
think.
that the highest viewed game in like 12
Well, yeah,
years?
but it was the highest viewed game for
Buffalo?
CBS in years. Yes.
Oh.
Aikman is
What?
See, the thing with Aikman is he's
Indeed, Katie.
it's his voice, Katie. To be honest with you, it's his voice. Aikman is so analytical and so monotone, and it drives me crazy.
Co-host is an idiot that needs to stay in baseball.
Do what?
Aikman's co-host is an idiot.
Joe
and
Buck
needs
needs to stay in baseball and stay away from football. I agree.
Joe Buck
No, see,
dropped
He
his
Kenny
can't
doesn't
even
like
get
Joe
the
Buck as
football
baseball.
players' names right.
Joe Buck cannot carry his dad's jock as far as baseball is concerned.
No.
Okay, he's
Or
better
football
at
either.
baseball than he is at football, but
You
he's
know what would
bad
be
all around.
awesome? You know what would be awesome? Tony Romo and Al Michaels.
Yes,
Would that be
place
like
Chris Collinsworth or Tony Romo. Get him out of
Oh
there.
God, Chris, I can't handle Chris, man. I can't handle Chris.
Yeah, get Chris Collinsworth out of the berth, replace him with Tony Randall. Al Michaels and Tony Romo would be a perfect pair.
Wouldn't that be great? I think that would probably be
in Madden, right? That's right there. That's it.
Chris
That would be
Collinsworth
awesome.
is every bit as good an analyst as he was a wide receiver.
Yeah, exactly.
Good
exactly.
point. Yes.
Good point. Yeah.
Yeah, how did that work out for you?
No.
He
no
went
one
to 2
beats-
Super Bowls. He did go to 2 Super Bowls, Kenny.
He did go 2 Super Bowls, and what did he do there?
Yeah. See, Chris Collinsworth is from my neck of the
Nothing.
woods here in Central Florida.
I know.
He went to
I remember when he played for Florida.
he went to Florida. He went to University of Florida. He
Yep.
played for he played for Titusville in high school, which
Yep.
was in the same conference I went to high school in. So we heard all about
Mhm.
Collinsworth back in the day, and it was just
Yeah.
I
I
think
remember.
Ken would do a really good Madden. Do you do a good Madden?
yeah, he can.
Yeah.
Kenny,
What we do here is
Kenny,
once
can
you
you-
get 7 yards
Yeah.
from 3, it's the first
Yeah,
down
Kenny,
and you
he
move the
thinks you can
chains.
do a good Madden, Kenny, is what he's saying. He thinks you can do a good Madden.
Do a good
Oh.
Madden impression, man. It sounds like you can.
He's got the voice for it.
When the ball
Oh,
goes
really-
10
really
yards,
has
it's a
to,
first
huh?
down.
Bam! Boom!
First down.
First down. When it gets in the goal, it's 6 points.
They're in the red zone.
Now here's a guy.
The team with
back
the
to
most
half.
points at the end wins. Thanks,
Kenny has the
John.
ultimate. Kenny has the ultimate. Now here's a guy.
Yeah.
I love Madden, though. I love Madden.
Madden was
It's
great,
overall.
man.
I still think
He's
that
the
they were
greatest.
best.
But it was just like so hilarious, like what he would say. Like it's the first time it's like, ooh, this is the sport called football. We listen to the Madden. He would tell us what a touchdown is. Like that's how he talks to the people who have never watched football before. It's great. Yeah. Okay, that was it for the night.
No, I've never been asked to do that, but
Good man. You have the Madden ability. I can feel it.
appreciate that.
So how's the hockey going for you, John?
Who cares? Well, Leafs 4-1 since they fired the coach.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Edmonton's kind of shit in the bed recently. The past 2 games they've lost. They're playing in Vancouver tonight. We'll see.
Yeah, Bolts have lost the last 2 in a row too. They lost to the Capitals and they lost to who was it? St. Louis the night before, a couple days before that. So they were up 3-1 on the Capitals, ended up losing 4-3 in overtime. So
I'm not in hockey mode yet, man. Let me get through football season, then I'll be in.
But then you still like football because the Bills are 9-2.
Well, the Bills are actually doing something. You know,
Yes.
it's like we might actually win a playoff game. I mean, holy shish kebab, Batman. You know, it's like it's exciting.
Yeah, Katie's right. Just say Brett Favre all over and over again. You'll be mad. And there you go.
Oh yeah.
How about Homer? Yeah, Brett Favre was Madden's favorite player, man.
Yeah.
Favre.
Hey, Jerry.
Anyways,
Yeah, Favre.
good times. Good times. What a great time.
It was a great week of football, even though the Browns lost. That's all right. But the Buckeyes made up for it yesterday. So
You guys kill me. Like the funniest shit in the world is watching you guys who don't support NCAA on Twitter all
And we
yesterday.
have the same conversation every week, John. It's not going to change our minds.
Kids are being robbed. Kids are being abused and used. Anyways,
the last thing I have to say is, what's happened to Phillip Rivers and the Los Angeles Chargers? I mean, I know none of us support this team, but I mean, there's so much talent on that team. I mean, granted, Gordon's overrated, but you got the other guy that John loves so much. And there's a lot of talent on that team, but they can't win. And if you guys want a good feel-good story, there was a segment on ESPN NFL Countdown this morning on the head coach for the Chargers.
Mm-hmm. Anthony Lynn.
Yeah, Anthony Lynn, who built
Buffalo Bill.
Yep.
Coach,
he did some work over, and I think it was over in Africa, and I can't forget that it was Ethiopia or Zambia.
Ethiopia, I think, yeah.
Where he built some schools or some homes for some, for some down and out people out there.
It's almost Peace Corps like.
Yeah, it's along the Peace Corps, and it was such a touching. And he was one of I can't think of his name. Ryan, Matt Ryan, not Matt Ryan.
Buddy Ryan.
Buddy Ryan's son.
Rex.
Rex. It was one of Rex's coaches. He was one of Rex's assistants, either in Buffalo or New York or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And this story was so powerful. Rex teared up on national TV this morning. It's such a feel-good story, and he's doing so good work overseas.
He is.
And if you haven't seen it, I highly suggest that you watch it. It's a really good story. It really is. You just lost your phone. There you go. You're upside down again, but that's all right.
Yeah. God. Dang.
Kenny, you're hanging
What
from
the hell?
It's okay, man. He's Spider-Man tonight.
Hey.
There you go.
There we go. I'm having a dickens of a time right now.
You're just having all kinds of problems. Like your laptop won't connect.
Yep.
You get your phone upside down.
Laptop's not connecting. Stay right there. Stay. Breathe.
I found that works a lot too. When you want to stay,
Yeah, it'll listen to you. Right? Yes. Well, John, I'm happy.
As for Phillip Rivers, don't give a shit.
I know.
Anthony Lynn, good dude, man. I thought he was going to be, before they brought in McDermott. I thought Anthony Lynn was going to be the next, because when they fired Rex, he was the head coach for the end of the remainder of the season.
Right.
Offensive dude, right? And but
he was a hell of a running back.
But you're not complaining now because you guys are not. You're not complaining.
Yeah, because we've got Brian Dable. He's just awesome. Don't worry, Katie. I'll throw him under the bus yet. Don't worry. Next week,
But yeah, I mean, Rivers is just. I mean,
he's a shadow of his old self, man. It's time to
agree.
Take care of your 35 kids and
right
off into the sunset, man. You're good, dude. You're fine. Yeah. You don't need to prove anything. You're not going to win a Super Bowl. It is what it is.
Part of the problem also is their move to LA to that soccer stadium. It's just they have no following.
I'm sorry.
They lost all their following in San Diego.
They needed to figure out a way to stay in San Diego.
Yes. Yes. They need to go back to San Diego.
Yes.
I
mean, San Diego was. I mean, they had a great fan base in San Diego. They loved the team.
They had Ron Burgundy.
Yeah, I know the stadium.
They did. They had Ron Burgundy.
Yeah. I know the stadium's old, but
San Diego.
It's
they spent so much for Petco Park, and they didn't want to be burned like that again. And I can fully understand because we've undergone the same thing here in Arlington with having to build both the AT&T Stadium and now the new ballpark. I mean, the citizens of Arlington, the older citizens, are complaining like crazy, and I'm certainly the same situation in San Diego.
The Rangers Park is not that old, Kenny. That's just.
I know it. It's going to be a football stadium now.
It's not that old. I don't understand why they wanted to build a new one.
Because they could not put a roof on it, and they could have had a roof on it from the beginning, but the owner of the club, George W. Bush at the time, did not want a roof because that's not baseball. Even though it's 120 degrees here in Arlington, in Texas, in the summertime.
That's why the Rays play in a dome here in Tampa.
Yes.
I mean, it's a shitty ass dome. It's a terrible ballpark, but with the unpredictable weather in the summertime, you have to have a dome stadium.
That's right.
Roof.
Exactly. But no,
Toronto, sometimes it snows.
Yes.
That's why we need a dome.
So, but yeah, I mean, they should have stayed in San Diego. And you know what? That new stadium in LA, housing both the Chargers and the Rams, it's a disaster waiting to happen.
$5 billion over budget.
Yes.
And it doesn't look like they're anywhere near close to it's supposed to be open next year, right?
Yes, it's supposed to open next year, but it doesn't look like it's going to be ready.
No. I'm not sure the one in Las Vegas is going to be ready either. And the Raiders are supposed to move there next year. They're going to play in the Silver Dome, Silver Bowl, where UNLV plays. I mean, their lease on Oakland Stadium.
Weren't they going to play in San Diego and San Francisco's baseball stadium? Wasn't that going to be next year? Or was
AT&T.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
they were going to.
I've seen
who
one
was going to play
there, but they moved that.
Okay, maybe that was something. Maybe something that was in the works for this year.
That's not close to LA at all.
No, we're talking about the Raiders.
Oh, the Raiders. Oh, right. Okay, sorry. I thought you were talking about the Chargers for a second. I'm like, what the shit?
The new stadiums in Minneapolis have domes. The football stadium does. It looks like a great big cruise ship.
What's it called? The one in Atlanta has a dome too.
Yes, the Mercedes-Benz Dome in Atlanta. Yes.
Yeah, it looks like origami.
Yes.
Which is unique because they kind of look like origami the other day too against the Saints.
Yeah. Atlanta's just bad this year. I don't know what. I mean, they look good for a couple of games, and they get rolled by the Bucs last week, and then the Saints this week. I don't know. The Bucs are going to end up winning, being second in that division. They're not going to make the playoffs, but they're going to end up being second in that division this year.
If Matt Ryan were any more immobile, just standing there in the pocket, that Ole Miss wide receiver.
Afraid. He's got the mobility. It's like he's afraid to run the ball.
No. I said the other day that Ole Miss wide receiver would have tinkled on him if he hadn't been any more immobile.
Yep.
That was pretty pathetic on Ole Miss's part the other day. That receiver, that was totally uncalled for.
Cost him a point and cost him the game.
Cost him the game. Yep.
Oh, that was that jackhole who I remember that scene.
Yeah.
A little bit of NCAA.
Yes.
That guy cost the whole team the win.
Yes. Because it was a 10-yard penalty or a 15-yard penalty, and they moved him back.
It's unsportsmanlike conduct. It's taunting.
Yeah, Brett says, how do you put a Chick-fil-A in a stadium and it's closed on Sunday? That's Atlanta. They got a Chick-fil-A in the Atlanta Mercedes Dome, and they are closed on Sunday.
Not open. Thanks for coming by. We'll be open tomorrow.
Any home game, they're closed.
They didn't think that through, did they?
No, they did not.
It will be open next week for the SEC championship game, but that's
a Saturday, though. That's a Saturday.
Which is the day they should be closed, but we won't get into anything biblical
today. John. Very good, John.
Read your Bible, folks.
Yes,
there's no Sunday Sabbath. Anyways.
We're out of here. It's after 8:30.
Now, the Mandalorian episode was shit.
Really? Episode 4?
You haven't seen it yet?
No, I haven't seen episode 4 yet.
Crap. It was garbage.
Really?
It's like they went 5 steps back from everything that was good. It was garbage.
If you get a chance, go see Ford versus Ferrari. It's awesome.
I saw Mr. Rogers over the weekend when I was at my folks.
Did you?
This past week, yes. It was pretty good.
Good.
Yeah.
Ford versus Ferrari is the best. Second best auto racing movie I've ever seen.
I'm sorry, say again, John?
Did he give the middle finger in it?
No.
No? That's like the most famous Mr.
The Tom
Rogers.
Hanks movie. The Tom Hanks movie.
I know,
Mr.
the one
Rogers.
where he gives the finger. It's
I got actually was because my father streams it from home, so kind of it's not up on the up and up, but you know how that goes. But it was I actually got into the middle of it, so I don't know if it was in the beginning of it or not, but it was pretty decent.
Stir the pot. Hey, the Toronto Raptors are world champs, and they just won.
Good for them.
What was the zero all about when he was holding up the card that said zero the other day? One of the Raptors players. What was that all about?
Yeah, no, because that was Joel Embiid scored 0 points against them.
Oh, 0 points. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
and see, the Raptors have the 76ers numbers since Kawhi hit that Game 7 winner.
Right.
So, yeah, it's...
Okay, I get you now. Okay.
Yeah.
I see what you did there.
See what you did, John? See what you stirred up, John? You see that?
Jen knows me. No one's... It's like, they're just... Don't worry. I'll do Bible study with everybody. Don't worry. Anytime you guys are ready, man, we'll dive in. We'll do some Revelation and Daniel just to warm up.
I'll be absent that day. I'll be sick.
Oh, it's good for your health, buddy. Come on. I got to put up with your NCAA crap, man. You can put up with some religious
Oh,
stuff.
no. There's a big difference, my friend. No. No.
Yes, Jen. Go Raptors.
Oh,
Go
Jen,
Raptors.
kiss ass.
No, she just knows. She knows greatness. She knows that the Raptors are the best.
Gentlemen, it was a good week of football.
It's great.
Well, except for Ken.
Wait,
He lost twice.
The cops are calling. I got to go open some more doors.
Football sucks.
Thank you for showing up, guys. It was good seeing you. Bob, get better.
I think we just froze again.
Yes, sir.
No, you didn't
Pretty
freeze,
sure
John.
we
You're
just
good.
froze again.
And you guys have a great day. We are the Sports Nerds. We're going to sign off.
Pretty sure we just froze again.
You did freeze again, John. If you're going to go, just go. We love you. On behalf of Bob the Bear Man, Kenny Koslow, John, my frozen friend Olson, I am the Sports Nerds, and we are out of here for another week. We are here every Sunday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We will see you next week. Thank you all for showing up. And we are out. Peace. Streams out.